That's who we elect. That's who runs everything. Are people who are, trained in the dark arts of rhetorical and verbal bullshit. People understand that. People have instinctively understood this. I mean, Mencken, I got a couple of books of his in there. I've talked about him a ton over the last couple of years. And he's talking about this 100 years ago, 120 years ago. How dishonest politicians are. And people understand it, but nothing ever changes. It's the same as it was 120 years ago. Why is that? Any idea?
No, honestly. I mean,
and it sounds to me, and I'm not going to put words in your mouth. If I'm wrong, you correct me. But it sounds to me like if you could find somebody who was breaking that mold, who was speaking as an authentic, genuine human being and telling the fucking truth occasionally.
I'd actually be whatever I'd be voting for that person.
Are there anybody? What about people like Kinzinger?
I don't know too much really about.
What do you think of Liz Cheney?
I try to stay away from most of the stuff like that, so I don't look into too many people.
So you wouldn't? How would you know that if somebody popped up who was actually trying to tell the truth?
Well, I guess I've kind of like you did with social media. I kind of did that with TV. Me and my wife, we try not to watch news.
It's a good idea.
Yes, we try not to watch any news. If the news is on, we flip to a different channel just to watch something else. I mean, we'd rather be lighthearted and have fun and watch something funny than sit there. And I still believe to this day that they show nothing but bad stuff. That's all people want to see. So that's what people pay for, is to see bad stuff.
Here, I'll send this home with you if you want to read something.
Okay.
That's what people want.
But I mean, we try, because I really do. I mean, you see all the bad stuff about what happens in the military and what, the military did this and the military did that, but they don't show all the great stuff that the military does, over there hugging little kids and feeding little kids and stuff like that. So, it irritates me. So I try to stay away from high profile stuff. I try to.
Then how do you stay informed if you're talking about voting for somebody? And you don't have to. I'm not trying to, nail you to a cross here. We're having a conversation about who voting for someone who's honest. Mm-hmm. How would you know where that person is if you're avoiding all information?
If we get back to a real election where it's not actors and actresses up there, then I'd be interested in watching it. But I haven't voted in the last few elections just because of the fact that
you haven't.
No, I don't have. There's nobody there I want. There's not somebody there I want. Yeah. So until people stop, just feeding you full of shit all the time.
In all honesty, I think you're closer to normal.
Oh, no.
Really, I do. I think you're closer to normal. I think there are so many people who think like you do, exactly like you do. It's like double middle fingers flying in all directions. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Especially fuck you, but no. Yeah, fuck you too.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
No, you're not cool. Never mind.
I found a couple of people. I found maybe 2 or 3 people that, and I can't even remember their names, to be honest with you. Kinzinger was one. He's a Republican. He's from Illinois, my old state, one of my old states, who came out against Trump, who stood up into the fire hose of the Republican Party and denounced Trump in front of everybody, kind of like Justin Amash did. I don't know if you remember him a couple of years ago, but he was a Republican. He came out against Trump as a Republican and was primaried. He actually left the Republican Party and had to become a libertarian. Because he took so much heat for. Now that takes balls. That takes courage. That he paid a price for that. An indication of honesty is paying a price, being willing to pay a professional, personal, some kind of price for saying what you actually believe. It doesn't take any fucking courage to stand up and get yay all the fucking time. A coward can do that. It takes somebody to with balls, courage, to stand up and say something in the face of public opinion. To denounce your own tribe, right? So that, to me, that's a pretty good indicator of somebody who's either playing a game, like a chess game, four moves ahead. Could be, if you want to be cynical, and they're smart. Maybe they understand this stuff, and I'll offer that. But it's also an indicator that it could be a human being that is trying to do exactly what you and I are talking about, trying to be authentic and trying to speak truth, not to power, but to the mob. Consequences be damned.
EscapingTheCave.com. Also on Facebook and at ETCPod on Twitter. At least for now. Mayday, Mayday. Toddzilla is holding me prisoner. Please help.